All right, welcome to another podcast. Super excited to have this amazing individual I call friend, I call brother. He's been around with me for quite some time, and now he's doing just some major things. I introduce you all to Mr. David Payton, the man himself. How you doing, sir?
I'm blessed, man. I appreciate you for having me on the show, man.
Hey, I appreciate you taking the time, out your busy schedule and blessing us, man. I'm super excited about this interview, my brother, to
Oh,
catch up with you, right? We got to
yeah,
catch up.
yeah. It's been a minute. It's
It's
been a
been a
minute.
hot minute, man.
Yeah.
So we'll jump right in here. So tell our listeners, where did you grow up and how did that have an impact on who you are today?
Whew. So I grew up in Orlando, Florida, particularly in Tangela Park, uh, and it was a predominantly Black neighborhood. Like historically, it was a neighborhood that was built for white people during like way back in the days, because it was right across from Lockheed Martin. Um, but when I was born, well, not when I was born, but when I was raised there, it was pretty much predominantly Black. Everybody predominantly white, kind of like moved out, and then we were there, us. So living there was pretty interesting. You either had to be an athlete, or you had to have some type of special talent to move yourself out of that neighborhood. At the time, I didn't have the athletic abilities to move me out of the neighborhood, but I did have another talent, like that was being discovered as I grew up, and here I am today. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. This is news. This is
yeah,
great news to me.
yeah,
So back then, you kind of touched on it a little bit.
yeah.
Did you know what you wanted to be when you were a child, or it just came over time?
Subconsciously, yes,
Hmm.
but overall, not necessarily. When I was younger, I always knew I wanted to be in front of people because I always loved that attention. I
Right.
always loved positive attention, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But as far as knowing, not really. I just knew I wanted to
Yeah.
be something important. And then as the older I got, the more it became clear that I wanted to do entertainment. Whether if it
Yeah.
was because when I was young, I wanted to be obviously, coming from the hood, I wanted to be like, I wanted to go to the NFL or the NBA. But then reality struck.
Hmm.
Uh, but then I knew I could make people laugh, and that was like it was a passion of mine. Like I always would tell people, once I got older, like if I can make one person smile, even if I'm having a
Right.
bad day, I'm good. And it's
Right.
like
Right.
it was that was my drug.
Yeah.
I had another saying, but I'm gonna keep it PG. But that was that was my thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll be real with you, man. Being someone that knew you back when, saying you always kept me rolling, me and my family. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? It was always a blessing to have you on set, to work with you, and just have you around, man. It's been, truly a blessing. You always kept us rolling, So yeah, man, you got that
oh,
gift, brother. You definitely
yeah, I
had that gift.
appreciate that, man. You know what, man? Do me a huge favor and give
Yes,
mom a hug and a kiss and give dad a hug for me, man. I kind
I
of miss them
definitely will.
because I do remember having those dope moments.
Hmm.
And for you to give me the opportunity that you did, like I'm humbled by it, and I appreciate it because that's a part of my history and my story. Like I
Yes,
wouldn't
sir.
be where I am right now in this journey of mine if it wasn't for you, man. So I thank you for that, bro.
Hey, no
Appreciate
problem, brother. And to God be all the glory.
it. Amen.
That was the
Amen.
beginning. And you trusted me on that journey. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And you know what I'm gonna say
Yeah,
is can't wait to do it again, my brother, on a whole bigger
absolutely.
level. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you
So
know what? I'm gonna call you out too because
uh-oh,
that yeah that
uh-oh.
project personally, and I believe we had this conversation before. I'm not a fan of personally. I'm not a fan of the slave or
Hmm.
the the race baiting or those type of films. But that play we did, The Girl Who Cried Our Father, that
Yeah,
production we did was really good, and I personally
shame,
think
man.
that you should turn that into a feature. It's just
Uh-oh.
me.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
That's just
Uh-oh.
me. I'm just
Uh-oh.
saying.
Hey,
I'm just I'm just going.
There you go, man. Only if you're gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? And you know.
I would like to, you know what? If I come back, I would like to do your role.
Okay, you've mentioned that to me before.
Yeah, I
So
would like to
that's
do
that.
that role.
You mentioned that to me
Because
before. So that's
the role I
definitely a
did was,
possibility.
whew, you know, I still get death threats for that role.
Really? Stop
No, I'm
playing.
just playing. No,
Okay, don't do that, bro. Don't do that to me. I'm like that play is old. You know that play is like the original one because I originally did it in Gainesville, Florida. That play is 20 years
really?
old now. Yeah, so 20 years old, bro. So
Wow.
I need to bring it back. It's over 20, so
Yeah, I
it's
think
time to bring it back.
yeah, I
But
think it's
I'm
time to
thinking
bring it
about
back
it.
as a feature.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm marking it
I'm just
down.
going. I'm
Everybody's
just
hearing it. Everybody's hearing it. We're gonna have to take a whole different approach with that thing for a feature, but it kind of had the feature moments in it. So
yeah.
we did our thing. So yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna consider
Okay.
that. I was wondering, and you just spoke it into me. So
Perfect. Cool. Cool.
yes, sir. All right, all right.
Just a
We'll
small
talk.
little tidbit of a little call out. Not too bad. Not too
There you
bad.
go. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
You can call me out. You one
Okay. Cool.
individual that have the right to call me
Okay.
out. So I
Cool. Cool.
appreciate it. I appreciate it. So my next question for you, my brother. I'm trying to get big on this. I always talk to my guests about these morning routines because now being not only a husband but also a father of three, it's really hard to get my personal time and that time, of course, with God because you gotta get up really early.
Mm.
you know to get that
Yeah.
time in for those little ones get up. Tell us a little bit about your morning routine. Do you have one in place yet, or?
I'm actually doing a restructure of my morning routine.
Yeah.
My morning routine was literally like previously going to the gym. After I go to the gym, obviously, give me something to eat and, pretty much start my day because, people don't realize like as an actor, if you're not at the level of, the perceived successful actors, you still have to have what's called a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
so I knock out my workout in the morning because I need to get rid of this baby fat. Uh, so do that, have my breakfast, get
oh
to work.
man.
After I get off of work, I go to acting class, whether if it's
Hmm.
physically in the acting class or like I go to YouTube University or do some type
Nice.
of reading. Once I realized, because previously I didn't have like a real good set structure and I just started restructuring, like I said before, about, 30, 60 days ago.
Hmm.
And it's been the best decision I've ever made to do.
Sweet man.
Now that, like I said, I moved into a new place, kind of like downgraded to refocus on this career move.
Hmm.
Now I'm putting in more efforts of my relationship with God.
Amen, brother.
One,
Amen. Amen.
at least spend an hour a day with Him, whether
Yes.
studying, reading, YouTube University again.
Hmm.
I'm pulling up some type of scriptures and seeing if I can apply that to my lifestyle,
I love it.
uh, that type of thing. So I'm still in the process of restructuring, pretty much.
Yeah.
But those main factors, my relationship with Him, my workout routine, which being that I move, my gym is way further. So now I'm
Oh.
thinking
Oh. Yeah.
about doing some mountains. I'm literally like looking outside my window and there's this huge mountain. I'm thinking like, that's
Whoa.
free.
Oh man.
That's literally free.
That's definitely free. You're gonna have to send me a picture of that, man.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's pretty much my daily routine is making sure I get the nutrients that I need spiritually, physically,
Yeah.
and mentally. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that, brother.
Yeah.
That's great. That's what I've been working on, especially since turning 40. I need to work on my mental
Whew.
health, spiritual health, and physical health. Those three elements I need them to be in type shape. so,
Pretty much. Yeah.
so, but
Yeah.
yes, man, great to hear that, my brother. So,
Appreciate
next
it.
question. Next question, man. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Uh, Tell us your top three movies. I'm gonna give you
Ooh,
three, only three. If you want five, I guess, but top three is what we're looking for.
top three, man. Ugh.
And my
Uh,
question was originally, what's your favorite movie? So I kind of gave you a little window. So I did. I
yeah, I
gave you a
mean,
little window.
I that's so hard. But okay, I'll say I don't have a top three in any particular order, but I will mention these three. Coming to America,
Okay. Okay.
Harlem Nights,
Okay.
and Mrs.
Okay.
Doubtfire.
Okay. We know you're a comedian yourself, so that makes
Uh,
total sense. Big
yeah,
fan of Eddie Murphy, I see.
absolutely. I mean,
Absolutely.
those two are fighting in my head since I
Man.
first seen them. If they were the number one, and then Mrs.
Yes.
Doubtfire was just, Robin was just such a brilliant
Oh man.
actor and
Man.
super funny, just naturally
Yeah.
funny. Just to see him be him in that film.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That was a
Absolutely.
childhood favorite. I used to probably watch that movie
Absolutely.
every week, man, once a week
Absolutely.
at least with the grandparents. But no, that's amazing. And the Coming to America definitely was one that changed just everything for me. And then
Mm-hmm.
Harlem Nights, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir. What did
I
you
mean,
think about Coming?
I have so many. I guess those are the main three.
Yeah.
I have a runner-up, Tombstone.
Okay.
Um, it's a whole bunch. We'll be here
It's
for
a
like
whole
hours.
bunch.
I ain't gonna do that.
That's
But yeah,
it's all right. It's all
I have
right.
a lot of them.
What did you think about Coming to America 2 when they reboot? When they brought
I
it
was
back?
I had mixed feelings, but I think the
Yeah.
more important thing was I'm glad that it was able to give us jobs because that was
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very
it was
important.
I mean, it was pretty much
Very
during
important.
the pandemic era. So
Yeah.
on a positive note, Eddie Murphy created a lot of jobs for us with that.
Yeah, he
And
did.
then,
Yeah, he did.
I seen a cameo. One of my acting buddies, he was in it, so I was kind of happy.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's what's up.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt. You could tell the studio situation around it. It brings a whole different look and feel.
Yeah.
But again, the time frame that it was in, with COVID and all that, and then
Mhm.
the
Yeah,
jobs, man, that was a blessing, even
absolutely.
in all of that. So, oh,
Bro.
definitely, definitely. Let's see. You've been a TV man. What would be your top 3 TV series?
Right now, I'm on The Boys.
Okay. Okay. The
That show
Boys.
is uh I haven't, and I know this sounds, my acting coach gonna beat me up for this.
Uh-oh.
But I
Uh-oh.
haven't really been watching too much TV. Yeah,
Mhm.
because I'm gonna use my move as an excuse because I moved.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
excuse.
Okay. Okay.
But
Right.
I am watching more to do more research. So The
Gotcha.
Boys is one. Um, Succession.
Hmm.
Let me see a third. Uh, Man, oh, what's a third one? Um, X-Men '97.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I kind of watched
Okay.
that one. I
X-Men
was like, yeah,
97.
yeah,
Okay.
that one was really
Okay.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm trying to wonder, did I get to see? That's been a while on that one. I don't think I got to see that one.
Well,
But yeah.
I think it's a new one
Okay.
that came out, and still watching WandaVision.
I'm telling you, like, I'm wondering why I hear none of these. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's going on, my brother? I have a list of shows that I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And you've been in a lot. Come on, man. WandaVision, man.
That's
Wanda, what?
that's the number one so far.
Yeah.
Until the new one comes out.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
you heard it here. You heard it
yeah,
here.
yeah.
I definitely had that as one of my questions. So we'll get to that one later because I definitely want to touch base with that because I watched that one.
Okay,
So
cool.
yeah, I was super proud of that one. So yeah, so what would you say? I guess right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, your biggest passion, what would you say at this point in your career? What's your biggest passion?
Ooh, that is a great question. My biggest passion right now, other than obviously, following my dream of acting, is just growing and being better, learning how to be
Yeah.
more of a servant.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like how can I become a blessing to somebody else? Like how can I,
Mm-hmm.
even through my own journey,
Yeah.
because I'm still trying to find myself, still trying to find my way through this career. But I also want to know how can I simply just be a help or a blessing to somebody else. That's
Yeah.
another thing. That's one of my new passions.
I love it. I love
Something
it.
that I'm working on.
And you
It's a work
already,
in progress though. So
yeah. Well, you already, I'm gonna say, been a blessing, one to me and to my listeners. You know what I'm saying?
thank
So
you.
you're already living up to that in our eyes,
Oh man, you
and
making me
oh, should I
blush.
say in our ears? Because we're listening. A lot of us,
Yeah,
those that are listening. But
yeah.
no, we appreciate it, man. This is what this podcast was all about: me sharing my
Cool.
journey, but most of all, sharing the wonderful individuals I've been blessed to work with, their journey, as well as we all continue our paths. So yeah, so thank you again for blessing us, man. That's
Yeah, my
that's pretty
pleasure,
cool.
man. Thank you.
Now, the flip side of that, what would you say would be your pet peeve, your number one pet peeve, if you have any?
Failing and not doing anything about it.
Failing and not doing anything about it. Okay,
Yeah,
I
because
like that.
yeah, I'm the type of person I just hate to make a mistake, make the same mistake twice. I don't like doing that. So that's one of
Right,
my
right.
peeves. So I try to, like I said, my goal is to get better, to constantly
Mhm.
better myself. So I just don't want to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
definitely.
that I wouldn't, but I just don't like it. It's like a pet peeve.
Hmm. I feel you on that. What would you say was the biggest challenge in your life?
I think I'm still going through my biggest challenge, to be honest with you. Because in this career choice, the perception of when you it's I guess the perception, working around the perception
Mhm.
and just, not conforming to it, I have this conversation with my sister all the time. I tell my sister, like, look, the main thing I'm afraid of is, you know, being successful in this business and then having to sacrifice, my morals or my means. And my sister would always
Yeah,
like bring me down to earth. And she's like, well, just don't. Like, if you already know what your morals and your standards are and your boundaries are, like, then you already know what your limitations are. You know what you're not willing to do, then just don't do it. I'm like,
right.
oh, okay. That's simple. But at the same token, when you hit those lights and know that you get that certain type of attention, you got to be ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I'm not sitting up here saying that I'm that guy and like that, but it's just like it's a overwhelming feeling. It's a
yeah.
great
Oh, yeah.
feeling,
Hmm.
but it's an overwhelming feeling. You just got to understand, like, okay, well, what do I do with this?
Right, right.
Because that comes and goes. So that's
Hmm.
one of the things I'm a little bit, still timid on.
Yeah.
I still want to be humble.
Right, right, right.
So yeah, hopefully I answered that
No,
right.
no, that's
Yeah,
good. And what
yeah,
made you, while you were answering that question, reminded me of my journey. It's kind of like, you want something so bad. Like in my
yeah.
case, I want the funding for the films because I know the moment God drops that, things can change
Hmm.
tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But then again, now in this humbling stage I'm in, I'm kind of like, well, will I be ready? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
That's the thing, because that makes
yeah.
you a little nervous. Will I be ready? You get 10 million to do a feature. Will I be ready?
And it's
So
it's crazy too because, like, I guess we pray for certain things,
right.
and it's weird, but it's not weird on God's part because we'll
Hmm.
we'll pray for the most extravagant thing, and we'll already have like the necessary tools to get it on our
Yep.
own. It's almost
Right.
like we'll pray for a chair, and God has already blessed us in the forest.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and we keep praying, like, God, I want this beautiful setup, this beautiful chair. And he was like, well, I put you in the forest for a reason. It's
Right.
like, but it's cold. Like, can't you go put me in IKEA?
Right.
Like, that'd be
Right.
perfect. Give me a
Right.
credit card. And he's like, nah. Like, so it's like we really have to just understand, like, what we pray for.
Hmm.
Like, God already put us in a position to get it. We already have it. We still
Yes,
just
there.
got to do our part, if that makes sense. You know what I'm
Yeah, that makes total
saying?
sense. It makes
Yeah.
total sense. Why would you say you're passionate about acting?
It's in me, man. It has always been in me. Since I was a little kid, man. Me and my mom would put us in front of, the rest of the family during our family get-togethers, our reunions, and make us sing old, jailhouse songs that one of her boyfriends taught us how to sing. And I used to love it. It was like,
Yeah.
as a little kid, you get that certain type of attention and it makes you feel good. And I used to
Hmm.
always love how people would just be happy, and I'm like, all
Right.
right, let me do some more. And I would always be
Yeah.
the one kid out of my two brothers at the time to just do something a little extra to get a laugh out of my family members.
Hmm.
I'd be the one amping up the drunk uncle, and then
Oh.
mama got to
Oh.
pull me up like, okay, calm down, David. You getting Uncle so and so out of control. Like,
Uh-oh.
that's
Okay.
the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah. That's something there, man. Who is the one person you say influenced you the most?
My brother.
Brother.
My brother, Douglas Hurt. He influences me
Hmm.
the most because during even in the beginning, he's always had my back. He's always supported me, even when it looked like nothing was gonna come from it. He always found a way to support me. I mean,
Hmm.
the man has been 100% 10 toes down, standing on business, however you want to, whatever slang we use now in this day, that's what he is for me. And I can't wait to be a blessing for him.
Yeah,
Like, I
definitely,
can't wait
definitely.
to just buy my house or something
Right.
extravagant from my success.
Hmm.
Like, I just can't wait to do that because he's been 100% there for me. Yeah.
Sweet, sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
Now, brother, this is one question I didn't know. Did you have any college experience after high school or?
A little,
Hmm.
not a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I built a good relationship with my theater director in college.
Hmm. Hmm.
Did a play with him. It was like one of my favorite plays. I did the Duchess of Malfi,
Wow.
and he
Okay.
actually he actually convinced me. He's like, you should audition for it. I'm like, all right, let me.
Wow.
I'm not a huge theater fan, but I have a huge
Yeah.
respect for it because
Hmm.
I've always said this, even talking with my acting colleagues, that theater is the gym of acting.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You
Hands
already know. You already know.
yeah, like you can in film and TV, you can mess up as many times as you want,
Right.
and you can just like, all right, let me take a breather. Let's do another take. Let me regather my thoughts.
Oh
Ain't none
yeah.
of that in theater, especially
Nope.
live. You on
Mm-mm.
stage and you mess up.
Right.
Okay, you better ad lib.
Right. Better
Better
keep
do
going.
something.
Show must go on.
Exactly. So I always had a huge respect for theater,
Awesome, man.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
Yes, man.
so that was the most, in college. And then, I even took a step back from college and just
Hmm.
pursued acting. Like,
Yeah. And see,
yeah.
I didn't even know. I don't think I even remember the part about the theater, in college, you doing theater and stuff for a minute. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
and I think, honestly, uh, once I got out of the military, I think you
hmm.
were the first theater production I did.
Wow.
I
Wow.
believe that.
That
Yeah.
goes down in history right there
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. I think I could
Wow.
say that. You were the
Wow. Wow.
first theater production I did. Yeah.
Wow, man. And
Yeah.
tell us about your military experience. Like, how did that shape who you are today, especially? I think I'm touching nerve, especially in this acting career, man.
Well, I mean, I had a lot of transferable skills as far as like
Hmm.
discipline and respect. Because I went to military straight out of high school,
Hmm.
so I was a kid that
Oh.
liked to yap a lot, and
Oh.
like
Yeah.
I talk too much. Sometimes I talk too much on set.
Yeah.
But the military, really would instill, discipline, punctuality, uh, the necessary basic adulting skills. You
Mhm.
know, um, experience was cool. They wanted me to stay in, but I was like, nah, no, thank you.
Yeah, time to go. Time to
I'm good. It's time to leave.
go.
So yeah,
That's awesome, man. Thank you for your service, my brother.
my pleasure.
What were tell us about some of the odd jobs that you had to take up, and probably you taking up some now, maybe just until everything even take off even further. You have any odd jobs that you had to do on your
Yeah,
journey?
yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, you have the typical waiter jobs, bus
Mhm.
jobs. I mean, I did some of everything,
Yeah.
landscaping,
Okay.
uh, washing cars. I still wash cars.
Hmm.
That's still one of my side hustles. Like right
Yeah.
now, I'm working for a medical company.
Okay. Sweet.
So I'm
Sweet. Sweet.
doing whatever I can. I
Right.
don't
Right.
care. Like you got to do what you got to do to get to where you need to go.
Hmm.
Bottom line. So if I had to, shovel, poop, I did that before
Hmm.
as a 9 to 5. I'll do it again.
Yeah. Feel
You know,
you on
I,
that.
yeah, it's like you got to ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice to get to where you need?
Right. Now, how do you focus on, even with those odd jobs? Because that was something always, even with the production side on my end, how do
Mhm.
you balance, hey, I'm gonna do this job, but if a role come, you know, this is my role, my
Yeah,
breaking, role. How do you balance that? Like not getting too busy with that so you can still focus on your career
just
as
having
an
your
actor?
priorities. That's it. Just
Hmm.
it's simplifying and having your priorities. Like what is more important to you?
Hmm.
Obviously you got to pay bills. You know, you have to be able to eat. So it's just not living above your means.
Hmm.
If an audition comes up, make time for it.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
you're gonna go through. You're not gonna have a steady job. I mean, I'm just speaking from my own experience. I've been from 9 to 5 to 9 to 5, and I'm okay with that because this is where I'm focused on.
Hmm.
I have a team that I trust. I have a great manager. Mel's
Nice.
amazing. My agent Tracy is amazing. And we have those tough conversations. Like
Mm.
you're not gonna
Hmm.
be you're not gonna be at that 9 to 5 for long. If you get
Yeah.
this big audition, you're gonna have to take it. You're gonna have to find time to do it. And there's a possibility that you may have to use your vacation time or your off time, or you may have to risk getting written up for not showing up that one day that you're supposed to show up. You
Hmm.
know, that's part of the business.
Yeah.
There are some people with silver spoons. I don't envy them. I'm glad that that's happening for them, and I'm not even jealous of them. Everybody got their own story. I mean, you just have to understand where you're at. And
Right.
where I'm at is I know that those jobs, they come and they go, but
Hmm.
that opportunity doesn't. So if I receive that opportunity, if I have to not go on a vacation for pleasure and use it for the business of entertainment, and what I mean by that is instead of going to Costa Rica or whatever, wherever, I just use that time to take off to do that audition, you
Right.
know,
Right.
then that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Nice. I love that. Tell us a little bit about the experience of deciding and how to move forward with getting a manager and an agent and all that great stuff. Because a lot of us don't know how to move forward
Whew,
with that
man,
business.
I think
Right?
I think it's all about. I can't give advice on that, but what I'll say is I'll just give my testimony on that. Right, I prayed to God for an agent that will work hard for me. And I end up, when I did, I literally, this is true story. I end up praying that particular prayer. And I had a conversation with God. I'm like, look, I don't want no, no, just rinky dink agent. Cause I've been through those agencies where it's all about quantity, quantity. We'll sign you and we'll throw you at the wall until you stick.
Mm.
And it just never worked out.
Yeah.
So I just prayed to God, like, look, give me someone to work hard for me.
Hmm.
And, you know, I'll take care of the rest. I'll still work hard, but I just want someone who works as hard as I do. And I was blessed with my agent at Brevard Talent Group with Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up picking up an agent from I ended up picking up a manager from WandaVision,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just been a
Nice,
blessing
nice.
from there. So I'm kind of lucky,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So a lot of people will ask that question of like, how can you get an agent? How can you, you know, uh, get or agent or a manager, whatever the case may be. My thing is, you still have to do your research.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you get that top agency or top manager, whomever it may be, you still have to put in work. You still have to
Yeah.
work just as hard, And it's the one thing I will say is they don't work for you as if if it's like a client, type relationship. It's a actual business relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not booking and you have an agent, you having like an issue and you feel like your agent's not doing their work, that's just a conversation that you need to have. You can't just
Right.
blame your agent or anything of that nature. It's just the nature of the business. You just really still have to put in the work. So like even right now, like even with an agent, even with a manager, I still have to do my due diligence.
Right, right.
But I still have to keep communication open with both of them. It's a partnership. So
Definitely,
whoever
definitely.
you choose or whoever you're looking for, you just got to realize that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, total sense. No, I love the way your perspective on that.
Yeah.
How would you say, how did you get your first major opportunity? Let's see
With
which
my agent.
opportunity you're gonna say. Which opportunity are we going? What is that
Yeah,
which one is the biggest one yet?
honestly, there's so many. Even talking about with you, with the girl who cried our father, that was a huge opportunity. But if we're talking about you know the business of film and TV, I obviously have to say, booking WandaVision. And if
Nice,
it
yeah.
wasn't for me, uh, getting discovered by, Tracy,
Hmm.
for our talent group, I probably would have never got that opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of my biggest opportunities.
Yeah, man. When I saw you in that, man, you should have seen my smile, man. I was just tuned in, brother.
I still don't believe it.
I was like,
I'm still kind of in awe, you know.
yeah, man, that was huge,
I'm like,
huge, huge, huge.
cool, Now I'm still like that, but I don't know. I know it's obviously it's Marvel. It was one of the number one shows, in the world
Yeah,
during the time it came out. And I'm just like, that's a part of that. I'm like,
right.
yeah,
Tell
cool.
us a little bit about that experience with working with all of them on that set, from the crew to the actors. How was that experience for you?
It was magical. As cliche as that sounds, it was absolutely magical. I loved it.
Mhm.
I want to have that experience again. It
Yeah,
brought a huge high into my spirit. I loved it. It was dope. From cast and crew, to everybody on set was just bubbly.
yeah,
Even through I guess the tough times with little drama going on here and there, like
yeah.
it was still nice.
That's
I miss
awesome,
it.
man.
I can't wait to be back on set like that.
Yeah, man. And I would get excited because I'll see you in a scene. I was like, okay, I see, get excited. But then when I see
Yeah,
you in another scene in that same episode, I'm like, yo, let's go.
yeah.
The more and more, man. I was just like, man, I'm so proud of my brother, man. Another big surprise, I want to say. I don't even know if I knew you were in this, but it was Chicago PD. That was a
Mm,
series that I just really got into. And just to see you, like faithfully watching every episode,
mm.
to see you pop up in that episode you did, I was just blown away because that was so unexpected to me. I'm like, you in Chicago now? Like
You
what?
know what's so you know what's so funny about that, man? I actually initially didn't get that role. And shout out to Eric LaSalle, because obviously he, writer, producer, director. He actually directed that particular episode and scene. And I guess when I initially auditioned for it, I didn't get it. They picked someone else, which is fine. I mean, like, on to the next one. I guess what happened was they were telling me the backstory of like the guy that they picked just didn't seem right. And they had me I guess they looked at my scene that I auditioned for, and according to the story that I was told, Eric was like, bring him back in, see if he's available.
Okay.
So casting had asked if I was available.
Yeah.
That was a stupid question.
Right.
Yeah, I'm available.
Of course.
It's like I ain't having it on my resume at the time.
Yeah.
Again, working a different 9 to 5. And I got the call from my agent. I think this was a different agent before, because I had, long story short, I had more than one agent at the time. This particular agent called and asked if I was available. I'm at work, literally at work. And I'm like, yeah, what's the time frame? So I had just enough vacation time to book that.
Yeah.
So it was one of those look at God moments, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was kind of crazy because I was debating on using that vacation just to take time off, to take a breather. And I was like, something was telling me not to. And that something was God.
Wow.
He was like, just chill, trust me.
Stand still, my brother.
Like, not even realize. So I set up the vacation, booked it for that weekend, got an Airbnb, went out there and shot, and it was dope. I was like, cool.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. Now, it was a film that you had did, which was originally on my list to watch, by the name of Waves, and didn't know that you were in there. I'm like, I have to watch this film tomorrow, like literally. Tell me about that experience.
That experience, which still it has a special place in my heart, because that was my first ever SAG film.
Wow.
When I booked it, again, similar situation, had some vacation time in my 9 to 5. And it's so crazy how I always want to like take a breather. Like, I don't really take real vacations. I just take my vacation and be at the house, just want to relax.
Yeah, of course.
Like 9 to 5 suck to me, but they don't suck when it comes to like paying your bills and all that good stuff. Anyway, that was my first, my first SAG film, and it was totally different from non-union. It was like, because you go on a non-union set, it's like, Eric and them, they got some food on the table, some stuff from Walmart, and you grab what you can, and it's time to go to work.
Yeah,
and that's cool as well too. I'm not knocking that. That was like, I felt like I had like a personal chef.
Wow.
I get on set, my name is on a trailer, and it has my character name, and I'm like, oh man, this is dope.
That's really dope. Yeah,
they really take care of you. So it was pretty cool. But obviously, I knew, I'm not there for the the perks. I'm there to go to work. So let me give my best version of myself, or let me give the best version of that character, so I can help tell the story. So that experience was really, really dope.
That's sweet.
Funny story. I actually screwed up that scene.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And not necessarily like, well, obviously I didn't do it where you could see it, but obviously that's going back to like, if you mess up a take, they can fix it. So this is my first SAG film. I'm prepared. I'm ready. And, I get ready to do my lines to go into the scene, and I freeze. I had a distraction. I ain't gonna say what was the distraction, but I had a distraction, and I just froze. And I'll never forget Schultz, the director, was like, "Hey, you want to go again?" I was like, "Yeah." And I literally bolted back out, because that's the scene I'm talking about. Spoiler is that I go into the the abortion clinic, and I kind of give like a speech to all the patients. I'm telling them about the protesters, and I have like this whole monologue, and I got the monologue memorized to a T. So I go in, first take, and I'm about to give the monologue, and the distraction happens.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it felt like 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
it was
Oh
only
yeah.
like it was on like 3 seconds or 3 to 5 seconds.
Oh
And
yeah.
he caught it quick. He was like, "Yo, you want to take a breath?" I was like, "Yeah." And I like run out. And at that moment, I had a moment. I had a choice, and I was like, "Okay, you can dwell on that little mess up, or you
Right.
gather yourself and go kill it." And I was like, "All right,
Man.
let me gather myself." And then the rest was history, man.
Wow.
Got it together.
That's amazing, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
good thing that wasn't theater though, right?
What? Oh, that would have been terrible.
Man.
I would have had to gather my thoughts on stage,
Bro.
and make it seem like it was
man.
It was part of the show.
Yo, I did this, and I'm thinking about you in that moment. I did this 24, they call it 24-hour, I guess, one act thing show they did. I got casted in this role, and we were supposed to put on this show, like literally in 24 hours. The writer's supposed to write the script, they're supposed to direct us, and then we had to put on this show in 24 hours, different one act shows. And that happened to me because I had the first line in my part, and that happened to me. I froze, and I was like, line, and everybody's bust out laughing, but that was part of the process.
Yeah,
but that was like,
but you made it work. You made it work. So you even in that split moment, you made a decision of like, okay, should I crash and burn,
right,
and just run from it, or should I just accept it? And then,
yeah,
even when you said line, they probably still gave you the line, and everybody still, was in a willing sense of disbelief, and it was like, oh, that was cool, and they accepted it. So, it.
Thankfully, that was part of the process because they told us it's okay.
But that's why I have so much more respect for, theater, because man, it really makes or break you.
Yeah. Oh, it
It
does.
really shows you what you can really do.
Yep. It definitely does, man. That's you want that crazy training. Go get in the show. Definitely, man. That definitely. Let's see. Where was I? I gotta remember my question here for you. I had it ready, I promise. Here it is. What would you say? Don't make me laugh, brother. What would you say every filmmaker should know? You've worked with, SAG film, you're SAG yourself. We know. We're gonna put it out. You better put some respect on that name, right? Yes, sir. So being a SAG actor, what would you say every filmmaker needs to know when working with you? You know what I'm saying? Or working with SAG actors. What should we expect? How should they carry themselves?
That is a great question.
And this is for my students, that are coming out, college, any student, that's like, man, I'm ready to jump into some productions. What should they know coming in? What should they expect? How should they act? Whatever you want to give them.
What I'll say is this: have respect for the writing. The one thing I'm still learning is, even through my current class, acting class that I'm taking, is you have to have, even though they didn't say this directly, but this is what I got from it, is like, you have to have a huge amount of respect for the writing. Because the writer knows what they're talking about. That's the thought process you have to have. Even though you as the actor is bringing it to life, you have to have that kind of respect for the writer. Especially when it comes to auditioning. So when you see it on paper, even if you think it's bad, you still have to respect it, because that writer is writing a story that he or she believes in, and they wrote it that specific way for a reason. So you have to at least respect it enough to have at least the first take is how they wrote it. You know what I mean? But going on to a set, for me, I have the mindset of being professional. Definitely gonna have some fun, but I want to help tell the story the best way that I can. I
Yeah.
know that it's never about me. It's not going to be about me, you know. So my goal is once I get on set, I need to be prepared. I need to know my lines,
Mhm.
and I need to be adaptable to any type of changes, adjustments, and I shouldn't get upset about it. I should just be happy I'm on set. So whatever happens, my main focus is to help tell this story the best way that I can through the character thoughts of my character, telling the story, getting the job done, and after that I can have fun. And
Right,
hopefully they'll
right.
have some good crafting.
Definitely, definitely. I love it, man. I
Yeah,
love it. That makes
that,
total sense to me.
that's it. It's like
Right?
everything else is perks.
Yeah, definitely, man. Tell us about a time that you have failed and how did you overcome that season?
Man, you threw me off with that one. Man, I
Ooh,
wish you gave me
ooh,
I wish you gave me
ooh. So
these
you gave it up
before so I
clear.
could
I didn't want to. No, no.
I wanted I don't
Payton.
consider that cheating. Okay. I consider that just being
you
prepared.
tell
I
you
get it. You
telling
wanted
everybody you wanted the questions before the interview. You just told all your business.
you're right. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's what I wanted. I wanted to
You
be
told all your
prepared.
business. I said no, no questions, man.
Yeah, that way
Hey,
some
this
of them
is
if I knew they're gonna be tough, I was just gonna lie. I mean it's uh a time that I failed, I don't that, it's a tough question because I don't
Mhm.
think I've failed
Okay, I like
yet.
it. I like it.
There are some times that I feel like a failure. And
Hmm.
those times I have to check myself because, you know, whenever, if I feel like I'm a failure, maybe there's something internal where I'm comparing myself and I don't need to be doing,
I
right?
like that.
So I don't think that I failed. You know,
Yeah,
I've
love
taken
it.
some L's, and
Hmm.
those L's I have to turn those into learning lessons. You
Hmm.
know, um, but as far as any specific time, I don't have that. But there are times that I feel that way, and that's when I have to just, I really gotta. That's when I have those conversations with God, like, hey,
Yeah.
am I really supposed to be doing this?
Hmm.
And then he'll talk to me back like, well, look back at where you were.
Mm.
Look at what you used to be doing, and look at how you felt then, and look at you
Wow.
now.
Hmm.
Like, so it's one of those type of deals. I don't. So again, I don't think I had any moments where I was like, I failed. You know, it's just
Yeah.
I had those feelings, and I just have to check myself. That's it.
Hmm. I love it. See, you wouldn't have gave an answer like that if you had the questions ahead of time. Okay, that's what I'm trying to
Yeah, I
tell you.
probably would
You
have
know,
gave some politically correct, like, you know, there was
right,
this time where
right,
I was on set and
right.
nah,
You would have
just
met.
truthfully, yeah, that's just because I think we all as actors we have that feeling.
Oh yeah, oh
You
yeah, oh
start
yeah,
you start scrolling on, all these social media platforms
oh
and
yeah,
media. You see, and sometimes your peers are
yeah.
doing great,
Right.
and you are saying to yourself they're doing better than you, and in
Yeah.
fact they're just being successful.
Right.
You're
Right.
just not where you need to be, and that's okay.
Right. Right.
So you just have to restructure your thoughts. You have to
Yeah.
just take a step back, and that's when like maybe your mind is idling. I don't know,
Yeah.
but for
Hmm.
me personally, whenever I have those types of feelings, I just have to like really sit back and think like, okay, well, why am I feeling this way?
Right. Right.
What am I
Yeah.
missing, or what am I
Hmm.
doing wrong? And then gotta kind of like tap me on the shoulder. It's like, bruh, like I'm right here.
Hmm.
Talk to me. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, my bad. Well, God, well, what do you think? We'll have that conversation. It's like, okay, well, that's why. Let me
Hmm.
get back focused. So it's just basically a lot of distractions.
Right. Right.
You
A
know,
lot of distractions. Yeah.
I'm easily distracted. And that's not good.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that.
Yeah. Same here, brother. I'm
Yeah,
working on that too. So
yeah,
easily distracting myself. So that's
yeah,
something we both got to lift each other up on. So yes, sir.
yeah.
It's a must. Now, were there any times on set, which, as you know, even with theater, where things weren't going as smoothly as you would hope they would have. If there were any times, tell us about that experience and how did you move forward, in that situation?
So if there was ever a time that there was certain things that was going on set, I would never tell those because I I go by a very, very stern discretion of what happens on set stays on set.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
reason
Okay. I like that.
why is because I like to give that opportunity to have whatever issue it was to fix itself there. Because truth be told, in this business, that type of negativity don't even need to be shared.
Right.
Like
Right.
especially if it can be fixed on set. Obviously, there's times where it goes public. I don't want to be the person to bring that to light.
Yeah.
My thing is just, handle yourself with class and respect. If there is some drama, if you can avoid it like the plague. Just do your job, be professional and keep it moving. You know,
I love it.
I've had situations, but it's neither here nor there. I like to keep it on set and let it get resolved on set and move forward. I think that's the most professional thing that you can do. The moment you start to try to be public with it has to be a reason, and it better be a legitimate one. But if it can be handled on set, handle it on set.
I love it. I love it. Do you have any favorite experiences? I know you talked about WandaVision being one of those. Were there any of the days that you all was just rolling and the connection was vibing? You have any stories like that?
I have so many of those, like even on the set of WandaVision, being able to have conversations with realistic people. There was a time where, there was a particular scene on WandaVision where it's me, Kathryn Hahn, and Paul Bettany. And that one scene where I'm, trimming the hinges, that became like a
Yeah.
huge
Oh
viral,
yeah.
moment. But that particular scene, I'm standing there and Kathryn Hahn and Paul Bettany, they're having like an intellectual conversation. And I'm just standing there just watching them. And in my mind, I'm like, these two are like big time celebrities. I'm like less than 2 feet away from them. Like, this is dope. They included me into this like intellectual conversation, and I was holding my own. Now, in the back of my
Yes.
mind, it's I think it was like a regular conversation about sports and soccer, and then they started talking about something else, and I'm subconsciously in this conversation, like I'm holding my own, but I'm like in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm talking smart with these two, like,
Yes, man.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, it was like one of those surreal moments. As doofus as that sounds, it was like, okay, I belong here.
Right,
So
right.
moving forward, like I had so many fun moments just having regular conversations with them, and just being on set, talking to the producers, the directors, asking questions, just being able to be myself those are just the fun moments. Even with this current project that I'm happy that's about to
Uh-oh.
come
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
out.
See the reactions here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, shameless
Yes, sir.
plug. Agatha All Along is coming out. Make sure you watch
Okay.
it September 18th.
Okay. 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 Heard it
So
here. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Now, I've noticed on IMDb that you have some behind the camera credits. Is this something that we're getting a little more experience with behind the
Absolutely,
camera?
absolutely. I think for me to better understand the role in front of the camera, you got to have
Yes.
respect for the roles behind the camera.
Right,
And I
right.
think there's more roles behind the camera that we tend to think about, um, that I have respect for. And this is something that's so weird, I'm about to say, but I have so much respect for the janitorial service,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
crafty, the cameraman, production, the directors, the writers, like everyone. behind the camera. Even people that you don't think, like I said before, like janitors, they have a huge role people don't think about. It's as crazy as that sounds. You know, like I don't know. Everybody, every role is important. The smallest to the largest, or what we perceive to be the smallest, or what we perceive to be the largest is big. So, you know, being behind the camera. I actually even volunteer at my current church to be a cameraman, just so I can know what it feels like to work behind the camera. That way I can have that type of respect, you know. So when I do go on set, and if I mess up a line because I was ill prepared, now this cameraman has to spend an extra hour, 2 hours holding up this heavy equipment, you know, probably got like a bad back, but wouldn't have a bad back if the actor, was on point. You know, so I think about things like that to, you know, to have that kind of respect. I know that was too much, but it's just.
It's not too much at all, my brother. I was going to say, I make a point to pray for our cleaning crew and security crew at every job, at my current job, because the school wouldn't operate if it wasn't for those individuals, you know. So I make a point to lift them up because, man, they're just as important to me. So I totally get it. So no, thank you. That's amazing. What advice can you give students that are preparing to graduate, you know, and want to work out in the industry?
I don't like giving advice. But
we should.
I would say this, like, I'll give, I guess my advice or my testimony is basically just be nice to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't take no jive. You know your boundaries, have standards, but just be nice to everybody because you never know who you're talking to. Plain and simple. You know,
love it.
Everybody wants to go work for the top guy when you have the top guy in the making standing right next to you. Be nice to that person. Want to work with that person, you know, or don't wait to pitch your idea. Try and go make it happen yourself. You know, if that's advice, I don't know.
Definitely. No, that works. I love it. It's pretty cool. Do you have any resources that you can recommend that kind of helped you on your journey?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't know. I mean, my resources, you know, was just pretty much me being lucky and just being blessed. I don't even want to say lucky, but it was just like, man, it was grace. By the grace of God, by the grace of God, I found my agent. By the grace of God, I found, you know, my manager. You know, by the grace, I, you know, linked up with certain people that I'm, you know, talking to right now. And that was all by grace. I mean, at the same time, you know, I've put myself in a position to be there. But I can't, you know, directly say like, here's what you got to do, because of the fact that this art is so subjective. The way to become successful is so subjective. I think the main common denominator is just you doing the work. You have to be active. You have to be out and about, and, you know, putting yourself in very vulnerable situations. And there's going to be times where you look completely stupid, and that's okay. You know, stop trying to be perfect, because you're not going to be. You know, in my mind, I'm Denzel with a six pack, but in reality, I'm David Payton with baby fat. It's the truth. I mean, you know, so it's not necessarily me. I don't want to seem like I'm the one giving advice, but just go do your best. And if it's not the best to somebody else, it might be to someone else. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Fair answer. Fair answer. I know that's one of the ones you wish you would have had, right?
Wish it was fair.
Right.
Wish you did. I wish you look again. If you gave me these questions prior to,
I knew what I was doing. I
Yeah,
know
I
what I
know
was
you
doing.
knew
I
you
knew
was
you
doing
could
it.
handle. I knew you could handle this. Come on now. I knew you could
Oh,
handle this.
no pressure. No pressure.
So,
Yeah.
so my great brother, how can our listeners check out your work? I know you've been dropping the bombs on a lot of projects that are coming. You know what I'm saying? So, how can we check out your work more?
Well, my next project, which is Agatha all along, it's going to be premiering on Disney Plus. The premiere is going to be September 18th, so make sure you have Disney Plus. Go
Okay.
download it right now
Uh-oh.
and check that out. It's going to be phenomenal.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
All
it's going
right.
to
You
be.
heard it here.
What I will say, because I can't give no secrets. You know how Marvel is.
Yeah.
They
Oh yeah. Oh
got
yeah.
Secret Service.
We understand.
They don't stand by right now. So if I say something out of pocket, my career is over. But
You
what I
gave us
will
enough. You gave us enough. We don't want that.
what I will say is I believe that this particular show will present something that has never been presented on Disney Plus on the
Okay.
platform ever.
Okay.
We'll say that.
All right.
Be awesome.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we
Yeah.
are looking forward. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Get Disney Plus. I know I got to get mine back on.
Yeah, get it back on.
I got to get it back
Yeah.
on, man. The
I'm mad
kids,
that you
I
took
think
it
they're
off.
ready. The
Okay.
kids are ready, and nobody was watching it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now you have a reason to.
I have a reason to. Okay, I was watching it, but I'm watching every platform. But you know,
Yeah.
the kids wasn't there yet, but they
Yeah,
are they're
gotcha.
there. You know, they're there now.
Gotcha.
So, but yes, man. Well, my great brother, I want to thank you so much, Mr. David Payton, for blessing us again
Thank
for
you.
this wonderful interview, man. I learned
Yeah.
so much, and it was great catching up with my brother. It's been so long, man.
Likewise,
It's been so long, man. But I
Yeah.
want to remind you that I'm so super proud of you, man. I'm a fan, in case you didn't know. And I take it to heart what you told me. I take it to heart what you told me about the girl
I'm
crowd
dead
out father.
serious. You need to start it because I want that role. I know I'm gonna have to audition.
Oh, dang. You gonna put me out like that?
Oh
Really?
yeah, because you made me audition for the last one. I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
tell
don't
y'all.
play
See
by
this, I was
audition.
gonna keep this, but I'm gonna
Oh,
bring this
really?
out. I'm gonna call
Really?
you out again.
Really?
So Ronald had another production.
Oh,
He was
man.
doing, I think it was a feature. I don't know if it was a short or a feature, but
Wasn't a
it was
feature
a
yet.
feature.
It
And
wasn't a feature. It was probably a short.
it was
It
probably
was
a
probably
short.
short. Yeah,
Either
because
way,
we ain't did
I
a
thought I
feature
was
yet.
in
We
the
were.
bag. I thought I had it.
Uh-oh.
And I
Uh-oh.
had to audition. Yeah,
What?
my audition
Which
didn't go so well. Yeah.
which one was this? I'm
Ah,
trying to
man, I
remember.
forgot the name of the project, but I know you had Carrie. She was one of the casting directors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying to remember. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know. It's been
yeah.
several.
It was.
It's been several, man. I wonder if it was Depravity, because that was one. It was
It
really
might. I
busy.
think it might have been.
You came in for a detective role, maybe?
Nah, I think I was like the drunk father. It's like the drunk father.
Oh, drunk father. That was probably either Fallen Fruit, maybe. Probably Fallen Fruit, possibly.
Probably. Whatever it was,
Yeah.
I didn't get the role. Yeah. But it
Hey,
wasn't. I'm not blaming you for not getting the role. I'm not
what
blaming
you? Oh, that's how
because I
you
said it
do
like I was about to blame you.
it.
I had a pretty terrible. That was a terrible audition of mine.
Oh man. Oh man.
I had, you know what? I think, and I don't want to say I had the thought process of like I got this, but I kind of did, and I shouldn't have. So I
Oh,
came and I
gotcha.
was like, yeah, I got this.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't. I ain't got it. Because I left that audition like
You
I
wasn't
ain't feel
sure.
right. I ain't feel right.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm like, you know what? It was a lesson. So I was like, I'm gonna
That's all
take
right.
the L.
That's all right. It's many more coming, my brother. Don't worry. It's many more coming. And just so you, for the record, I even make my parents audition. So don't feel bad, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I found that out. I found it out during the audition.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I think Carrie told me.
Oh yeah, man.
Wait a minute. I was like, I know if I ain't good, at least they be good. That's his folks.
Bro. I make everybody this.
You was kind of a tyrant for that, but
I guess I still am. But look at it like this: my parents need to get that experience too. So
Look,
they'll know in case they try to go work with another director they shouldn't have no business working with. But
man, look,
they'll at
you
least
better
they'll at
take
least
advantage
know.
of that nepotism. That's what you better do.
Yeah.
You better stop
I
playing
know.
these games. You ain't. Hey, look. Braun did not make Bronny do what
Oh,
he did. He did what he
yeah.
needed to do. Okay,
Yeah, that's
nothing
true.
wrong with that.
There's
Period.
nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that.
Look,
I
if
do it
I was you,
because I want them to
I would
have
have
it.
hooked up
That's
the
all.
parents at least.
Look at you. Look at you.
At least.
Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Yeah, man. They still gonna have to audition. Gotta make sure I keep them on their toes. But no, man. But still, though, I understand. I understand. But no, it's a great experience, man. That's what it's all about. And you know your brother when it comes to that. I don't want nobody to think I gave anybody anything. Even mom and dad, they have to work for it. But they know they got their parts. If I want them in it, they got the part already. But they still audition. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all it is. But anyway, brother, thank you for putting me on under the boat again. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I got to get used to these conversations. But yes, man, any final thoughts besides those thoughts that you want to leave for our listeners before we wrap this up?
Man, look, I mean, thank you to those who watch. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, brother, for having me on. I'm humbled and appreciated by you. Um, this is the beginning of something beautiful, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm just thankful. Yeah.
I'm thankful too,
Thanks.
my brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. No, thank you for
Yeah.
that. And again, we appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing many more great projects from you, man. So
Absolutely.
keep up the great work. All right. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode, another podcast. Stay tuned for more great episodes. Definitely check out Mr. David Payton. Got a lot of great things on the way. All right. Take care, everyone, and be blessed.